This is James with Casual Tryhard MTG, and I'm going to do a quick deck tech here for our new YouTube channel. If you guys like this, let us know. You can get a hold of us on Twitter at Casual Tripod, on Facebook at Casual Tryhard MTG. You can email us at show@casualtryhardmtg.com, and obviously you found our YouTube channel, Casual Tryhard MTG YouTube. So like I said, this is a quick deck tech. Let us know if this is something you like, if you want to see these for different decks. I'm also going to try and get some gameplay. My wife's going to be out of town this month, so hopefully I can get some gameplay footage on here for you guys. But on to the deck tech. So this deck is a deck that Brian had tweeted out yesterday, I believe, called Rakdos Adventures. It's kind of a Knights aggro deck with some adventure synergies. I had been looking at building a little bit more split Rakdos aggro deck, a little bit heavier red with Bone Crusher Giants. And it was fine. I played it a little bit on Arena, a little bit at F&M, and it was all right. But I found this deck and actually ended up going 6-2 at the win one of every card in Standard event that was on Arena over the weekend here. So I figured I'd share it with you guys. Now I have made a few little tweaks, so this list might be a little bit different than the list that Brian had posted up on Twitter, just in case you're wondering. But it starts off with a bunch of low CMC Knights, 4 Foulmire Knight, 1/1 for 1 with Death Touch, 4 Knight of the Ebon Legion. This card is awesome. I shouldn't have to tell you guys how good this card is. It's 1/2 for 1. It's a Knight. Whole bunch of relevant text on it. Fervent Champion is another 1/1 for 1 Knight. This one has First Strike and Haste. Also some other Knight synergies there that buffs attacking and another attacking Knight. The other ability there about our equipment costing less isn't really relevant because we're not running any equipment in this deck. We're also running Black Lance Paragon. This pairs really well with the Fervent Champion. I actually probably have to go back up a Fervent Champion. Like I said, I had tweaked this a little bit. I wasn't super high on this card when I saw the list of it initially, but in playing with it, the Flash Death Touch Lifelink is really good with Fervent Champion because it acts kind of like a removal spell that leaves a Knight behind, so it's really good. Order of Midnight is a 2/2 Flying Knight with an adventure. Smitten Swordmaster is a 2/1 Lifelink Knight with an adventure. Midnight Rider lets you trade in combat and still get cards, so you're not running out of gas. But what all of these guys do is, or most of them, have an adventure stapled on. So with Lucky Clover, it's an artifact for 2 mana. Whenever you cast an adventure, instant, or sorcery spell, copy it, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So whenever you send one of your knights on an adventure here, you get 2 adventures for the price of 1. And it's also important to note that this is another spell, so it gets around counter magic. If somebody's holding a counter spell up for your Swift End side of Murderous Rider, and you have a Lucky Clover out, this is a separate instance of the spell. So if they copy one copy of the spell is still gonna, or if they counter one copy of the spell is still gonna resolve. So with Foulmire Knight for 2 and a black, you get to draw a card and lose a life twice. Really good for refilling, after you've traded in combat or, had a board wipe or whatever. Order of Midnight for 1 and a black, you get to return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Also really good at recovering from a board wipe or after you've traded in combat. But the real reason here, the reason to run this whole Lucky Clover package is for this Smitten Swordmaster. For 1 black mana, you get to gain X life, and each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of knights you control. Well, we have 10 1-drop knights and a whole bunch of 2-drop knights. So by the time we have a Lucky Clover and a Smitten Swordmaster, we should have 4 or 5 knights on the battlefield. You're draining for 8 for 1 mana. It's really good. Also, Lucky Clover works really well with Murderous Rider. For 1 black, you get to destroy a creature or planeswalker and lose 2 life twice. I played a couple games against like the food deck or like a green-black Garrick deck, where, I had this copied and, blew up their planeswalker and their biggest creature, and they just scooped on the spot. Now, the list that Brian had wasn't running any Spawn of Mayhem. I don't remember what all I changed to make room for the Spawn of Mayhem, but Spawn of Mayhem will put a game away like all by itself. It's a really fast clock, lots of pressure that comes down early and kind of demands a specific answer. It also works really well in conjunction with our plan of getting a bunch of damage in with these guys and then kind of fireballing them out of the game, because every turn that goes by, they're going to lose less life. Now, the same is to be said for this Stormfist Crusader. I know a lot of people weren't really high on this card because it's symmetrical card draw, but you're not really giving your opponent time to make advantage of that. This comes down on turn 2, you kill something on turn 3, play a Lucky Clover, and a Curry Favor, and you've ended the game before your opponent's gotten much of a chance to draw off this. But the life loss off of it is very important. Like I said, you're trying to end the game with a fireball from Smitten Swordmaster, so any couple points of damage you can get in anywhere are worthwhile. The mana base isn't great, but it's kind of what we have to work with right now. I cut down to 2 Castle Lockflame. I found myself using all of my mana every turn and never having, or not very often having mana up to activate it. So I didn't think the chance that it might come in tapped if you had a couple of them in your hand was worth it. So I cut that down to 2. Most of our things are knights, and importantly, our red spells are both knights. So this kind of helps fix our red mana, even though we're not playing white. And then a couple of Fable Passages to round it out, go look for a mountain or whatever. No, I only played this for the best of 1. I haven't played it best of 3 yet. So the sideboard is here. This is from, I think, a different red-black list. I just kind of copied this into it. Sideboard probably looks similar to this. But like I said, I haven't played it best of 3 yet, so I can't vouch for the sideboard yet. The deck's a lot of fun. It performed pretty well for me. Like I said, yeah, if you guys like this kind of content, you can get a hold of us on Twitter at Casual Tripod, Facebook, Casual Tryhard MTG. You can shoot us an email, the show at casualtryhardmtg.com. And yeah, if you like this content, let us know. I'm going to try and get some gameplay footage out, probably with this deck. I'm digging this deck right now. Maybe I can talk Brian into getting some gameplay footage with Bant Golos or something. But until then, we will catch you at FNM.